Welcome back to POV. What's up, guys? Still in quarantine. Getting down to do things to my cars that I've resisted for a very long time. I'm still resisting washing her. We'll save that for another day. For now, the Stormtrooper is going to get a big upgrade. Got our Corksport fuel pump internals, and I haven't wanted to do this ever since buying the car. I always thought I didn't want to super up enough to require this part, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and since I'm bored as sin, I suppose it's time to throw these on here. Let's get started. This is such a sensitive part that I'm actually not going to do this unsupervised. So we've got the official Corksport install video on YouTube here that I'm pretty much just going to watch and bite. There are some specialized tools that you need. So if you're thinking about doing this on your speed, check out this video right here. It's just a simple search for Corksport Hpfp internals. He tells you about a couple of special tools that you need. One of which is this E8 torque socket. So I went ahead and Amazoned this guy. I think I have everything else that I need. But specifically this socket right here wasn't a part of my toolkit yet. And Homeboy called it out nicely. So I definitely suggest watch this through, double check all his tools, and then make sure you got all the right ones before you get started here. That said, I'm going to try to remember everything he said we needed. The other thing that I Amazoned was some lintless microfiber. Got my instructions here straight from Corksport, so I'll definitely refer to these. And I'll save them as documentation on the car that I did this. What else? Let me get a flashlight. Let me get some of my tool oil. We're definitely going to need that guy. We're going to need... Eventually I'm going to need to put some fuel in a cap like this, so I guess I'll just jack one of these. And I'm going to just start putting together the stuff I need right here. You also need a little table vise, and the only vise I have here in the workshop is this guy right here, nice cheapy. So I'm hoping that guy's going to work. Looks to me like we'll be able to get away with it without 17 and 19. I'm thinking about going with the shorties on this because my long guys are just so huge. But we'll get there and see. And then you need an 18 deep socket. We've got that. Okay. And then there's some pretty simple stuff. To do the disassembly with, and I guess I'll just come right here. I'm too lazy to move the Terrafugia today, so you're just gonna have to stare at her all day. I'm gonna take the tiny one, 1/4-inch drive. What else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab a 10 so I can take apart my air cleaner housing, get everything disassembled. Okay. Eventually we're going to need a torque wrench. just for the reassembly. I am going to bring this for a quick disassembly. And a 10mm if I've got it. I don't. I don't have it over here, so I guess I'll just use the one that I just pulled. But it's a 1/4 inch, so let me get this other 10. Four bars. Cool. Alright, so you're kind of looking at what you need. Torque wrench, small drive. Oh, there is an extension, the guy said, so why am I looking over there for my extension when it's right here? Okay. There we go. Gotta love working on Japanese cars. All the stuff is super tiny. Alright, well, they say it's best to not run the car for a while before you do this because the fuel pump has so much pressure. So that's what I did. That's why I didn't move the cars around and stuff, is I didn't want to start this thing up and then have 1,600 pounds of pressure at my fuel pump. So I recommend letting it sit for a few days. Luckily we're in quarantine, so this guy's been sitting for a while, gathering dust clearly. So we should be able to get this guy taken care of. First things first here, since we're touching electrical connections, we're going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. And I like what Homeboy does in the video, which is something like that, and then put the cover back. We're just going to follow the video to the letter. From here, removing the shroud. 10mm bolts. Okay, where's the unit we're looking at right here? We are looking at this electrical connector right in front and center. Little round thingy, a couple of colored plugs here. This is the fuel pump, so we got to get to her, and here's how they say to do it. First things first, electrical connector, push the tab and pull, squeeze the tab with my thumb and wiggle her out. There we go. The second thing they do is remove the PCV right here, which I'm not entirely sure how to do. This might get awkward while I figure it out. This really is a bear right here, so I'm thinking about giving up taking this off for now. Maybe I'm just going to go down here. Legit, I have no idea how to get this off. So I'm going to hope that does the trick there. We're trying to buy some room in this area, like this guy right here in the way. Where's this brake booster? Figure out how to unhook this. And I'm just going to try to get her off to the side there. All right, so now it's going to be super tough to see most everything that's going on, but we're basically going to need to access these little star bolts right here, which we'll have to do by feel. There should be 3 of them. Oh yeah, here's a big one right here on top. And there's one right here. And then the third one is way down in there, right there. And then way down there with the white paint on it is the fuel line that we'll be disconnecting. We've got a couple other lines here that we need to disconnect though. The green and the blue. The guy in the video explains how to do it pretty well. I'm not going to listen to any of that advice, and I'm just going to try to figure it out right now for myself. I think it's the old spread and pull. Really simple. Once you get the feel anyway. All right, a little bit of fuel came out right there. No flames, no smoking. Oh yeah, breathe in those fumes. Free buzz. Thanks for the free buzz. All right, opening this clip here for the other fuel line. Leaking some more fuel there for a second. All right, so these two lines are undone. And now we've got our fuel pump exposed. Next thing we're going to do is get on these. And a matter of fact, no, the next thing we're going to do is crack this fuel line with the white paint on it down there. Crack her open. Okay, this is where you get your 17 and your 19. And the 17 goes on the retainer that's down right on the bottom side of this guy. You have to hook it on by feel, and you can't really see back there, so it is what it is. All right, that feels pretty well on there, like this. And then take your 19, and this will be the most awkward part of the video, I'm sure. Actually, let me just see if I can crack it without grabbing it with the other one. Something gave. Let's see. Very awkward, very slow going. Yep. Okay. So we cracked it. That's good. One trick that he talks about later in the video that I really liked was the zip tie trick. So I'm actually going to throw a little zip tie on this fuel line so that the nut doesn't fall down. So again, we were working on the fuel line there with the white paint. And I'm going to just take this and I'm going to put it on the line so as to retain the bolt. Actually, how far can it possibly fall? Let's see. It's not going to fall that far. Let's just undo it. Oh, she's not done fighting yet. Feels like she broke loose there. Not quite. Goes about half a turn and then it hangs up. There we go. Alright, so the nut fell down, but not too far. So we're unhooked there, we're unhooked here, everything's unhooked. Now we just get to the star nut, the star bolts, take them off. Okay, again, this is a E8 Torx. Definitely something that, oh my god, definitely something I imagine you got a special order. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. All right, now these aren't torqued on very hard at all. Okay, got that one broken. Okay, and then the last one is down underneath. And now our PCV hose is going to cause us a little bit of discomfort. Okay, not bad. All right. Okay, they're all broken, so let's see if we can't get all these bolts out now. And these guys are pretty long. Much as I like zipping bolts off, I don't think I would do it on this. Do not recommend using any kind of power tool on this. Okay, so then in the video it says this last bolt pretty much loosens the whole thing out. So I guess we'll be ready to catch her. Let's see if we can't detach. Okay, she's not going to fall down. That's good. I'm going to file these bolts in a safe place real quick. All right, good. So the action to get this out, I'm not sure. I do know that there's a spring in a valve that goes into the head like this, so I'm assuming it's going to come out. maybe I need to disconnect the fuel line a little more. Oh boy, that did fall down. Alright, well, as fun as it is to try to record some of this, I just had the fuel line nut panic of 2020 when it fell down, so I'm definitely going to heed the advice that came later in the video, and I am going to put this zip tie on this fuel line to prevent it from falling. Super awkward, not much room. Alright, you didn't want to see that, honestly, and I didn't want to waste the battery, but I finally got the zip tie on there, and so now I'm just going to zip tie it on there pretty low. So that the nut has room to move but won't drop way down in there. I think there's a reason this dude didn't demonstrate this on the video. It's a fucking bitch. I'm not sure it's necessary, but we're past the point of no return now. I gotta do it. Okay. So there we go. She's on there. And I'm gonna leave that on there forever. Feels like it'll come out. I see a gap here already, so I'm actually just gonna pry around a little bit. There we go. Okay. There she is. A fuel pump.
I like to hold this 17 in place, and I'll show you that in a minute. 3 screws that fasten this to the head. And these are the 2 lower. Usually there will be quite a bit of fuel leaking out at this point. You may want to have a rag.
I didn't have much fuel, but I haven't run the car in like a week.
It's okay if you get some fuel spilt on the floor. Our fingers.
Oh yeah.
Last. You'll notice there is the
Okay.
and tighten it. So now that we have the fuel pump out is removed from the vehicle. First thing we're going to do is make sure that we've got a nice clean workspace. We've got clean lint-free towels. We have some fuel that we kept from earlier. We have nice, clean, fresh hands. We want to use clean, fresh motor oil in all the parts. And a bench vise. We're going to take the towel and place it inside the vise and set the fuel pump down inside and tighten it. We need a deep 18mm socket and a long handle 3/8" wrench.
Unscrew. That's what it's supposed to be. Lefty loosey. This vise really sort of isn't up to the challenge. You sort of need a manlier one. But we've come this far. We need to finish the job. It's out. I don't recommend doing what I just did. And we got some fuel coming out. Yeah, don't recommend that at all. And next, this is where the magic happens. Oh, forgot one other thing. There's a little, what the Corksport guys call a bucket in here. I'm going to pull it out. It goes in with the flat side on the bottom. Bucket looks good. Parts look good. Fuel pump's a little marred up from the vicing, but whatever. It ain't too bad. I think my vice is in worse shape than the fuel pump is. Alright, the doctor's ready. So, there's your bucket. Looks a little funky in there, ain't it? Yep. How easy was that? Let's keep slogging. Keep that momentum up. I think I'm going to clean inside this guy. Much better. Yucky. Yeah, she's clean. She's clean now. Okay. Now there's tools and instructions and yeah, okay, sure, awesome, good. Don't use an air hammer to remove that. Okay, here we are. Figure 6, lubricate. Got my lube right here. Very good. Lubricate again. So I am going to read the instructions on this page here. Cleanliness. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Switching to hands. Set the spring retainer into the tool. I'm going to lube a lot of stuff. I'm going to lube everything. Heavy lube. Alright, so I guess you put this doohickey on here. This has been lubricated. This goes in there. This goes in there, like so. You hammer it on. How will you know if it's seated? It won't do that. Oh, this should be fairly dust-free right here. Alright, well, that guy in the video is full of shit. Let me make sure this is the smallest hammer I have. Nope. Are you in there now, boy? You are in there now, boy. Okay. There's your stock parts. And we're going to have to torque this down to 60 foot-pounds. It feels like about 60. I think we're ready for reassembly. Yep, she's working. Alright, first thing we're going to do is put the newly cleaned and lubed bucket in. She's got lube on the outside and on the inside. Then we're going to take our fuel pump and seat her on down in there. There's a dowel pin to guide you. Lining up the fuel line with the bottom connector is tough. It's going to take some doing. I don't know if I recommend this. There we go. And then I'm going to look down there. That looks like, yep, the fuel line is lined up correctly. Now we've got our 3 magic bolts. And we're gonna just hand thread them in because this is aluminum. So we are not using power tools on this. And then there is a little spring tension which keeps that gap there until you cinch her down. So we'll do each of these one by one, a little bit at a time until it sits all the way down. Alright, so they're all finger tight. So it's time to get our little guy out. Feeling a little tight, so I'm switching. A little tight, so I'm switching. And starting to sit down hard. And this is only supposed to be 8 foot-pounds. So we're going to use the small wrench, and we're not going to torque it all that hard at all. All right. Next is going to be one of the more painful things, getting this 19 back hooked up down low, the main fuel line back to the bottom of the fuel pump. This is probably going to take a while. All right, she's pretty snug. I'm just going to snug her up a little more here. All right, she's on there. Okay, good. So we have torqued the Torx bolts. We've got the main fuel line reconnected. Now let's begin reconnecting all the other hoses and lines. PCV. I did figure out eventually how to remove the other PCV here. It was a bitch. That's all I'm going to say. You got to push both sides of this tab at the same time. And it sucked. Okay. Green hose here. Pop her on. Close her up. Blue line here. Pop her on. No need to close her up, she just stays. Let's get this brake booster line back in its clip. Nice and secure there. Very good. Electrical connection to the fuel pump. Everything seems solid. PCV. Where's my needle nose? All right, so what they say is prime the fuel pump, don't start it, and go look for leaks. So that's what we're going to do. I hear things. I hear fuel pumps out back. I hear computers. I don't see anything. There's my zip tie I lost. Let's try to fire her up. If I burn my house down, tell my wife I love her. Well, she sounds good. I think I'm going to reset my ECU tune, try to get the fuel trims better. Since nothing caught on fire, let's go ahead and remount this. Then we'll head out into the field and test on it. Should we just go straight to stage 3? Let's stay safe mode plus SF for now. $17.88. Never hit that before. Great. All right, I'm gonna grab my wallet from inside to get my ID, and then we're gonna go for a ride. All right, so with the old fuel pump, the vehicle would get about 1500 psi to the log here. So what we're looking at is the big number right here. That's the Hpfp actual pressure, and you can see even cruising down the freeway right now, I'm at 1500 or more. Now if I were to punch it, now this is a safe tune, 1800 psi, super easy. This is a safe mode tune, so it doesn't ask for all that much fuel pressure. It's definitely getting plenty. And the black soot that I usually throw isn't there. It doesn't throw a lot usually. It's enough to make my tailpipe dirty. And usually if I get on it after not running the car for like a week, there'll be some soot flying. But I didn't see any, and I still don't. $14, 15 pounds of boost, that's the target. So I've got 15 pounds of boost. And I'm spiking to a way higher fuel pressure level, which is what is desired. This keeps the engine running healthier. No lean conditions for me. That's the goal. So I think we've done our job here. I'm stoked on that. Air-fuel ratio. I'm going to do a couple pulls on the freeway here and log it, and we'll see how the numbers look. And then I think the next step is I gotta call a professional tuner now instead of running the safe off-the-shelf stuff. I'll let a tuner actually tune this thing up. We'll see if we could squeeze some more power out of this guy. ratio is good, holding at 12. Very nice. I want to try stage 1 already. Is that bad? I want to try stage 1. Oh look, Los Angeles Crest Highway. What a fortuitous turn of events. Who'd have thought you could run into the Los Angeles Crest right when you were looking for a place to drive? It's so strange. Being as how it's quarantine and all, I'm not sure if these turnouts are safe. If I'll get ticketed if I turn out. So we might just go up here a little bit, see if anyone's already up here. Otherwise, might have to go back home and mess with the tuner. All right, that's a good sign. Very good sign. All right, let's get this stage 1 tune in. Start getting the fuel trim settled. This is how easy this product works, folks. Change map. Ignition on, engine not running. Loading map information. Economy, safe mode. Stage 1. Stage 1, I think, is safe for me. Ooh, the stratified OTS. That is an old school map. Let's go safe. Stage 1, SF 91. Courtesy of Cobb. I want to say that took about 2 minutes. Turn the key to off and turn it on in 5 to 10 seconds. Computer's working. Success. Off for 15 seconds, and then we'll fire her up and see what stage 1 feels like with a Hpfp. Get on the road. All right, let's get a few miles up here. Nice and easy. Let the fuel trim settle in a little bit. Then we'll really start putting some stank on it. Well, we're not in a race right now, but yeah, she's got a couple extra nuts in there. There's a couple extra nuts in there. Have bit to get the boost over 14. It's been so long since I've been up this road. Solid 1700 PSI in fourth. It's pretty good. Do I think it's a big enough difference? You know, look, I've got the stock downpipe, I got the stock exhaust, the dealer installed turbo back, I guess, but it's still the stock downpipe, so that's the bottleneck as it stands. I'm going to do a little reading, and I'm going to see if it's even worth it to stick with the stage 1 with this exhaust. And again, help me find a tuner. I want to find a guy who knows these Mazdas and can help me just put a nice solid tune for the gear I have on this car. I don't want to open up the exhaust. I don't want this thing to sound all super riced out. I want to keep it sleepery, and I just want to make sure that it's actually, yeah, let's go straight. I just want to keep it look like a normal car, you know. Want a little extra zip in it, sure, because I put all those parts on over the years. And I think I've got it already with the safe mode tune. But I think a tune that's catered to this exact vehicle is probably the next step for me. Say she's happier with these new internals for sure. Not bad at all. Really solid in the middle of the band. Best donut spot in LA right there. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful third gear acceleration. Really wonderful. All the way, power all the way up to 6K. That didn't used to happen. That didn't used to happen. No, can't go camping. Wicked acceleration from 3 to 5 now. Super awesome, dude. Boy, am I stoked. Let's see what some of our peaks have been on this drive. Still only 14 pounds of boost, but we hit 1900 PSI with the fuel pump, so the fuel pump seems healthy. Traffic even up in the hills in LA during a quarantine. This minivan's really starting to piss this guy in the BMW off. There's a wreck waiting to happen, folks. Yeah, get out of the way, Mr. Minivan. Thank you. How courteous. Oh, Beamer guy's in a hurry, bro. Oh, he almost lost it. Tires screeching. itself. Let's do it. Yeah, that didn't take long at all to get up on this guy. And he ain't going slow. Oh, so much more instant power. Beamer guy was intimidated. Beamer guy didn't like me. That's okay, Beamer guy. I wouldn't like me either if I was totally fucking outclassed by a Mazda just now. The one rule for driving on the roads above LA, just stay in your lane, man. Don't cross the yellow line. That's the rule. That's when you see wrecks, is when people can't keep it between the lines. Feed her the onions here. Yeah, 5th uphill. It's okay. Gotta be careful, gotta look out for the Mounties. And we're pretty up there elevation wise now. I don't know how smart it is to let my car set fuel trims at 3,000 feet, but here we are. Sounds really healthy as she accelerates into high RPMs. It would sound a little exasperated before, so I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. Very cool. I think this was I'm calling it a win. I think this is a win. I'm gonna call it a win. I'll let you know in a week if the fuel pump breaks. I didn't exactly do it in a sterile environment. I didn't exactly have all the right tools. But I think we might just have pulled it off. Props to Corksport for a cool part. No, they're not paying me for it. I've got other Corksport parts on the car. I've got a Corksport top mount intercooler that's a little larger than stock. And I've got some, I think my shift bushings, my shifter washers. So hopefully now that this is upgraded, all of this soot is gone. That was part of my concerns with the fuel pumps, long-term life, longevity. God, she's dirty. Ah, she's so dirty. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This was an adventure I was really afraid to take, but I think I'm glad I did. Thanks to Corksport for a kick-ass install video helping me out do this. See you next time on POV.